4:45 is left. Did I miss anything? While I was sleeping.
He's gonna be back mixed bag. If I had to pick somebody.
I guess soon as it's out.
How many, is that a good one?
Did anyone block
With antlers or?
It's about 9:57. We're almost done now.
Is he gonna come out quicker than he did? Was it Nevada or Rhode Island? Where he came out?
We came out in the 20. So almost 5 rounds.
No, that was, I remember, I think that was.
opening statement from Coach Fleck when he gets to the podium, and then we'll jump into questions.
All right, a few things first and foremost. First, USC is a really good football team, well coached, really good football team. They're good in every area, in the run game, the pass game. We needed to coach 60 minutes. We needed to play 60 minutes. We knew we were going to have to be really aggressive and come out and attacking them for second one through the last second, which you saw. We talked about the 60 minutes of football being the only thing that really mattered this week. We played some really good football teams and came out on some short ends. But this team has been resilient. They're tough. They learn from those mistakes. They learn from those times. It's a great lesson as they become husbands and fathers and grandfathers, and that's what this program's all about. And every time we do something like that, it comes back to the life teaching, the life moment, the life culture, and the life program. And I couldn't be happier for our administration, state of Minnesota, our fans. I can't thank them enough for, I think it's back-to-back sellouts or close to it, the stripe out, the energy they provide, our student body. And we do a walkthrough in our facility, and at 9:30, Greek Row was quiet. Well, we were honking the horns on the buses as we rolled by, and I think they got the message because when we came back, they were all out in force. And it was Parents' Week. A lot of parents in those frat yards as well. Huge win for our program. Unbelievable individual performances. But what a team effort. We knew we were going to have to take, I don't know if you want to call them risks. So to me, they weren't very hard decisions because of the team you're playing. And you don't get many chances to beat a top 10, top 11, top 12 team. And a team that, a lot of people, and we were listening all day, and we got a chance to listen to the media, and, I got a lot of respect, and Joe Klatt's one of my favorites, and at the end of the Penn State game, they're all shaking hands, and Joe Klatt says he can't wait for the USC and Penn State matchup for the college football playoff. And I just kind of took that in, and I have a lot of respect for him, but you're always looking for things to be able to show your team. Like, that's part of it, and we're not going to, listen to the external piece, but I've said before, this is one of the best 2 and 3 football teams in the country, and maybe one of the most well-prepared 2 and 3 football teams for what's ahead because of our schedule and how hard it's been, and no bye weeks and no breaks. A lot of guys out, a lot of guys banged up, a lot of guys have to step in, a lot of guys got hurt tonight. But that was gutsy. That was courage. That was bravery. And that was leadership. Allow the players to play. I thought Greg Harbaugh called an unbelievable game. I thought Corey called an unbelievable game. And I thought our players left everything out there. These moments are really fun because there's a man to my right. I don't want to embarrass him, but this is the only reason why I'm a head football coach and I can do what I'm doing. Mike Nolan, my head coach for the Niners, who's here with his wife Kathy, means a lot that you're here because that's why I wear a tie. And if he wouldn't have cut me that day, that moment, that second, I wouldn't be able to experience these moments. And not only do that to a worthless player that's not going to make your team better in year 3. You sit him down and say, I think you'd be a really good coach, and I think you should do this. And then offer him a job. That's what this whole thing's about. With these players, our job is to, one, have them be proud of the University of Minnesota and everything that this place stands for and allows them to become, and love their alma mater. And 2, make sure you teach them as many life lessons as possible so they can be the best men they can be. And Coach, it's an honor to have you here. And thank you for always being here and supporting me and being the biggest mentor in my life. So, I'm sure you have a lot of questions. I apologize to make that personal, but he needs to hear that. And I know I text him that all the time, but in front of all of you, this is what we've talked about all the time. It's not about a fashion statement. It's about the people that allowed myself and a lot of our staff and our players to have an opportunity to be here. And I don't take that lightly. So congratulations to President Cunningham, Mark Coyle, our administration. They never stopped believing in us. The first text or the first hug after really hard games is Mark Coyle. And there's not a more supportive AD in the country. You take moments in times like this, when there's a win like this in program history, you got to be able to say those things, and rightfully so. But nobody deserves more credit than the staff, than the staff and the coaches, or the staff, coaches, and players. They got to go do it, and I couldn't be more proud of them. Couldn't be prouder. So I'm sure you have a lot of questions. We'll talk. Paul, we're to start over at time 0 now, so we'll allow them to have some questions. Andy's getting antsy over here. Andy, you got the first one.
PJ, can you walk us through the decision to go for it on 4th at half a yard, a minute left?
Wasn't very hard. I mean, it's a big call. It wasn't very hard. I mean, I was asking a lot of people that are really close to us, what were you doing? And they're like, oh, yeah, we were definitely going for it. And then they're all kind of winking, like maybe I should kick a field goal. But it's a player's game. How many times you heard me say that, right? It's a player's game. In a game like this, 17-17, how often do you have an inch to go beat USC? You don't have it very often. We kick that field goal and make it, that's fine. They went right down the field, everybody, just like they did all game. That's what they're going to do. And they don't throw the ball in the end zone like that, and we get to pick unless we go for that. So it was the decision not to just win the game, but protect the lead and allow us to play the defense we're going to need to be able to play to be able to seal that victory. And if you don't get it, okay, well, they've got to go 70 yards. They got the ball at the half-inch line. Like, okay, maybe we get a safety. Maybe we get a tip pass interception. Maybe they throw it to us at the midfield and we kick it anyway. We still had a timeout left. Put the ball and the game in the hands of the players and let them go win it for themselves. And they did. I couldn't be prouder of them. What an amazing team to coach with an incredibly challenging schedule and no break.
Was that the type of game you envisioned for Coy Parrish when you signed him in December?
Yeah, it is. The thing we told Coy in recruiting was, we're going to develop you, but we're going to develop you on the field. This isn't going to be a sit and wait a year, 2 years. You're going to play, and it might be a little bit in the beginning, and then we're just going to keep putting more on your plate. Keep putting more on your plate. And we had some guys go down today, but he was going to play a lot anyway, but he played a ton. He's just a football player. And you put him in that position, I mean, he always thinks he's getting an interception. He always thinks he's taking a punt for a touchdown. He wants to play offense. He'd be all 11 if he could. He'll play right guard. Like, that's the type of kid he is. But this is exactly what we envisioned when we recruited him. And I give him a lot of credit because he could have went a lot of different places, right? Again, we're not the highest bidder. And he loves the state of Minnesota. His family loves the state of Minnesota. The bad moms love the state of Minnesota. And I'm just thankful that he believed in the Gophers enough to come here, and he's going to have a very, very, very bright future here. And maybe one of the most popular players at such a young age I've ever seen. Maybe Corey Davis at Western Michigan as a true freshman started coming on the scene, but like nobody really knew. To do this as a true freshman takes a very, very unique individual. You know, Darius did a lot for us last year, but he's a different cat now, and he's wired a little different. And I like the way he's wired.
What do you think of the way you were able to generate movement and execute in the ground game tonight?
Yeah, Daniel, I don't think we moved the ball well up front in the first quarter. We had a very honest conversation on the sideline with the O-line, tight ends, and it wasn't a mad conversation. It was a belief conversation about knocking them off the ball. If we want to win this game, we have to win the line of scrimmage. Don't worry about anything else. Fly off the football. And they started doing that in the second quarter, third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter. I thought what got us going in the second half, I think we opened 3 drives with some screens that, this is a very difficult defense to game plan. This is just like Wink Martindale. They come from the same tree. You have no idea what you're going to see at the beginning of the game, in the middle of the game, and definitely when he makes adjustments in the second half. But our guys kept their composure and their poise, played really hard, used their fundamentals and technique, and that was love out there. That was connection and love and all those things that not enough people talk about. The number one thing that connects a locker room is gratitude. And this team has always been grateful to just keep coming back and learning and growing. Give them credit.
What do you feel about Marcus Major, how he spelled Darius tonight?
I don't think it's about, Randy, I love that, your question, but I don't know if it's about spelling. We have 2 really dynamic backs. And technically we have 3, 4 dynamic backs, just depending on how the game's going is depending on who we're going to play. But when you got a 1-2 punch, you got a chance to be really good. You watch a Penn State game today and you have nothing else to do with watching games, and you're preparing, came here for our walkthrough, but they have 2 really dynamic backs, and you've got to be able to have that 1-2 punch. And especially with the way our backs are. They work really well in space. They catch the ball really well. They can do a lot of different things. That's why I said Greg Harbaugh called an amazing game, because he just kept coming back to what our guys are really good at, and then how can we generate explosive plays to start drives? How can we be able to keep them covering sideline to sideline? USC makes you cover sideline to sideline, but we're built a little different because they have athletes all over the place in space, but we were able to use the whole field sideline to sideline and vertical to vertical.
How much did the Michigan experience help you today?
I don't know if it was, that's a great question, because I don't know if it was just the Michigan experience, because I think that goes one of two ways. When you lose this team has lost hard football games against really good teams. And we can say some teams right now aren't, but when we played them, they really are. North Carolina was a really good team when we played them with their quarterback. He was really talented. They were really good, right? Iowa, really talented, really good. That rivalry could have went either way. And, we made some mistakes in the second half that Iowa takes advantage of that you can't make. The Michigan game, what a second half. But we didn't do it in the first half. You take all those things and you show them, we have to learn from this, and this. But if you put it all together for 60 minutes, guys, you're one of the most dangerous teams I've ever coached. Go be that. And you challenge them. And the antidote, we call it antidote. The antidote this week was all confidence. Belief, confidence. My pregame speech was 10 seconds. Let it rip. That's it. That's all I told them. And they did. They let it rip.
PJ, those hidden stats, I always like. There was 1 sack, but there were 6 hurries, 8 breakups, and 3 tackles for loss. A lot of pressure.
There was really good pressure, and the pressure shrunk the pocket. If you saw in the first quarter, quarterback was break and contain, stepped up, got out of some holes, made some adjustments, made sure our guys were able to shrink the pocket, which I thought they did a really good job of, condensed him, made him make some ill-advised throws, and I thought our corners, DBs, safeties played their hearts out. They're going to get catches. Those are all 4-star, 5-star wideouts. And they're really good. That's a big-time quarterback that's throwing for 74% completion percentage. He's a big-time player. Their O-line's averaging 325 across the board. Tight ends are good. Backs are good and strong. And I thought we covered really well. It was tight coverage. We were knocking the ball out. We were in their hip. And even if they were going to make a catch, it was going to have to be in traffic. And not only that, I thought we hit them. You caught a ball, how many times did a kid go, head over heels? And that can take a toll on you. We needed to be the most physical football team on this field tonight, and I thought we did that.
2 weeks ago, after Iowa, you said, don't give up on this team. What was kind of on your mind about this bunch that might be different than you've had?
I get the pleasure of being able to see the day-to-day, the hour-to-hour, the minute-to-minute, the second-to-second. Right? And I think that we always get judged on Saturday, but I know as a head coach how I got there. How did we get there? How did that happen? These guys came in on Sunday after Michigan ready to roll. Now, our pregame speech, you would have never thought we lost. Or postgame speech at Michigan, you would have never thought we lost. That was one of the most emotional, full of emotion, positive, straightforward messages I think I've ever delivered. There was more love in that locker room after that. Not that we were celebrating a moral victory. That's not what I'm talking about. But what they showed is dangerous. And if you can bring that love and gratitude and heart and spirit out, you can do something really special in college football. And they did. And that's why I said, don't give up on this team. They're doing things that are eventually going to pay off. Listen, I'm not the biggest baseball follower. But I think Aaron Judge struggled early in the season. I think he was getting booed at Yankee Stadium. He had a pretty good year. Pete Alonso, New York Mets. I think he was like 4 of 1,000 in the last 2 months. I'm not saying, I'm just kidding. 4 of like 60s. He was batting 110 or 120. But you just, as my boss says, keep swinging. I say keep rowing. He says keep swinging, boss. And that's what you do. You just keep doing it. And you keep getting them back to get them to believe how good they really are. And look, they'll know if you're lying to them. I've never lied to this football team. Never would. They'd see right through it. They know how good they are. They know what they can be. It's one game. It's a 1-0 championship season for USC. One game. But you know what? It's a big game. They all are. And our schedule every week is a huge game. And I'm just really proud of their efforts tonight. And those moments and memories of the storm or the field storming and our students beyond the field, those never get old. They become addicting. And I even looked at Mark, our officer. I said, right when Coy picks it off, I said, we're going to let him storm it, right? He's like, oh, yeah. You know, some people are like, holding up, let him on. And sorry, Boston thinks that it's not his fault, but those are awesome, you know, and that's what college football is all about. I'm sure we'll have to pay a fine or do something like that, but that's worth it.
BJ, are you aware this is the first time Minnesota's beaten USC since 1955? No.
Paul might have said something like that, but half the time Paul throws out stats that I don't even understand. That's what I mean. It's great for our state. This is why I love being here. This is why I said this last year, and I came out and said, like, it's okay to love the state of Minnesota and be the head football coach and love that here. Because I get to coach kids that I love coaching, that have a crack on their shoulder, that are blue collar, that are overachievers, that believe in something bigger than themselves. And if you just stay consistent and you got a really good culture and you got really good coaches, you got really good people that just keep rowing that boat, things like this are going to happen. And they don't happen as often as you want them because you expect to win all the time. But when they do, I mean, what'd you say, 1955? That was long, 1955. Isn't that from Back to the Future? Wasn't that a date?
Minnesota sports fans have been through the lowest of lows, and some of those fans felt like the stadium got a little tense there when you decided to go for it on that fourth down. Can you walk me through the emotions of when they say he's stopped on third down, you have to go through that whole reviewing process, and then the kind of the ecstatic look that you showed after you got the touchdown?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's a hard call. In terms of calling that touchdown, not touchdown. I mean, the way we spot that, and people are quarterback sneaking, everybody's running in from the side, there's a lot of pushing and shoving that happen by the time people get there. You know what I mean? And, you know, you'd like to be able to tell them, hey, guys, we're going to sneak this, so everybody just kind of come in a little closer, you know? But it's a big call, but it was an easy call. And, again, people are going to have their opinions, and that's the job of the head coach. Because if we don't get that and they go down our score and then I hear about whatever I hear about, I'm a big boy. I have to make those decisions. We kick a field goal, they go down there. They don't run the plays they just ran, right? They're playing for a field goal, or they're not going to throw it to the end zone on that play. They're playing a completely different style. Our whole philosophy was, if we don't get this, they got to go 99 3/4 yards, right? Or 70 yards. But Michael Lance hit a field goal from 54. Maybe not even that far. But we were going to do everything we can. Not very often you got a 1/4 of a yard against USC to be the top 12 team in the country, and you're tied, and you're going to run quarterback sneak. Everybody in the building knew what we were going to run. I'm just grateful we had a little bit more of the tush push, that we got than the play before.
Take one or two more for Coach. USC's longest play tonight.
What would you have done? Great, your timeout. You have to call a timeout. Now Andy's pissed at you because you called the timeout. All right, go ahead.
I'd have gone for it. But
of course you would. Yes.
USC's longest play was 21 yards tonight. They're one of the most explosive offenses you'll face all year. What was so key in being able to shut down the explosive?
Get to the quarterback, condense the pocket, put depth on the defense, play and mix up different bond and bail techniques where they didn't know if we were press or off, throw in some catch technique. I mean, they ran the ball pretty well, but if they were going to beat us, they're going to have to beat us on the ground. This was different. This was a complete opposite team that we had to play last week, because you could just tell, like, they were running the ball, but they still wanted to throw the ball. And we knew if we could just be able to put them in some long situations because of some breakups and maybe get some takeaways, which we did, we had a chance to win. That's a really good football team. I mean, I'm telling you. That's a really good football coach, Lincoln Riley and his team, and that's an impressive-looking group out there.
2 weeks ago,
Last one, guys.
I asked you a similar question about what you do after a loss. Just now, what's it going to be like following after this?
Whatever Heather wants to do. So I think we're still living with contractors a little bit with the new house, but not tonight. So it's been a heck of a day. We'll celebrate in our own way, and I just hope that everybody in the state of Minnesota, our student body, our fans, really enjoy this tonight. I hope everybody's really safe. Enjoy this tonight, and let's go get a Vikings victory in London tomorrow. Actually, pretty soon. So pull an all-nighter, everybody. Row the boat, Sky Ma, and go Gophers. Thanks, everybody.
For student athletes, we'll have offense first, so just let us get this table flipped, and then we'll have Max, Darius, and Quinn in here.
Max, what's going through your mind when you get the call that you guys are going for it on fourth down and on tush push?
I love it. Coach Harbaugh is, putting the fate of the team in the back of the O-line. And what they did the whole game was absolutely incredible. And for them to finish that game like that, it means the world to me, and I'm so proud of my team to finish that way.
Quinn, what was the message from PJ? He talked about after the first quarter, he kind of came over and talked to you in the offensive line about getting it going. What was able to be key in that to be able to deliver?
Yeah, it's just what we talk about every week, going 1-0 in every play, and that starts with us up front. Like if we're not executing 5 as 1, a play could go dead very quick. And we were confident going into this game. We were confident, every play, especially the run plays, to give these guys some opportunity to make special plays. And I think we did that all game, and couldn't be more proud of the guys that I played with up front tonight.
Darius, what made the screen game work so well today?
I think that just the run game set it up. They were just keyed in on the run game, and I think that our O-line did a great job of pulling out and getting those blocks down the field. I think they did a great job on the second and third level. And then me and Marcus, it's just our job to make those guys right and do what we're supposed to do.
Darius, were you trying to come out and set the tone early on that first quarter run where you laid the boom down on that USC safety?
I think that's just something that we talked about all week. Well, really all season is just, we say start fast, accelerate in the middle, finish strong. So I just wanted to start fast. My running backs coach talked about just kickstarting the offense, making sure that the guys know that we're going hard. So bringing everybody together and just setting that tone early.
Is that the first time you scored 3 rushing touchdowns? And how did it feel under the pile?
Probably, yeah. Honestly, it felt great, to be honest. It was there was a lot of weight on both sides, but it was the best way to finish that way, and to have all your boys around you at that moment when you're literally face to face and you're like screaming at each other like, let's go, when no one else can see it. It's pretty cool.
Quinn, they threw a bunch of different blitzes at you. Like, anything surprising out there from their defense?
I mean, everybody's going to have, their own flavor of the week. We watch as much film as we can on every opponent, and then, they're going to come out with something different, see if we can pick it up, and I thought we did a great job of that tonight. Shout out to our coaches for preparing us, throughout the week and even making corrections throughout the game of what we're going to check to and how we're going to pick up their blitzes, because they were sending it at us.
Max, I think I can safely guess that you probably never experienced the field rush at New Hampshire, so when you
No.
take the knee and you turn around and see the fans coming out, what's kind of going through your head?
Well, I had no idea what to do. First guy that came up to me was Quinn. That was cool. We shared that moment together. We challenge each other every single day to be the best leaders we can, and to finish a game that way with that team, the way we did, was absolutely incredible. So I was happy to share that moment with him, and I was glad that Carl helped me kind of through the pile because that was absolutely ridiculous in a good way. We have amazing fans, and to be able to experience that with this team is pretty cool.
Darius, is that the healthiest you've felt all season? Is that kind of a statement that kind of to the nation of what you can do?
I mean, I've been healthy for the whole season except for starting that first game. But I think that just tonight, I mean, my O-line was doing a great job. And my tight ends, they were getting up to that second level, and that's just something that if that happens and we're clicking on all cylinders, that I mean, I can just be me and make those plays for the team.
That second touchdown, were you actually reading anyone, or did you just take it and pull it?
They were pretty keyed in. They were pretty keyed into Darius the whole game because of how well we were hitting the run game. And it happened earlier where I maybe could have pulled it on a short yardage situation, and it came up again, the same exact look. So I kind of just trusted my gut and took it. It happens though because we're so efficient in the run game up front that they're so keyed into the interior, and it makes it easy to get out and finish in the end zone.
How excited were you not to get caught from behind?
Well, if I got caught from behind on the 3-yard line, it's not very good. I got to do some soul searching if that happens, and get back to the 10-yard splits that we practiced in the summer. But pretty good. It was a cool feeling seeing my teammates right behind me at the moment, and knowing that we're keeping ourselves in the game and continuing to finish football game. Yeah.
Darius, tell me what you saw on the third quarter run where you ran 24 yards. You started left and cut it right and was wide open. How was your vision on that?
I mean, we talked about all week, setting up our blocks, pressing our landmarks. Coach Nick did a great job of preparing us during practices all week. I mean, it's just something that we've been working on all season is just pressing our landmarks and just the biggest thing today was exploding. Once I see the hole, take it right now and just accelerate through it. That's something I feel like I did a great job of, and Coach Nick coached us up really well on that today.
Reese, the atmosphere was pretty electric throughout. How much did you feel the juice from the fans as the game progressed?
It felt great. Our fans are great. We stayed in it the whole game. Even when we were down, they were still rocking. So, I mean, it was great. Appreciate that. I mean, it keeps the team going, keeps us alive, keeps us energized. So I appreciate that.
PJ talked about how it might be easy to go on a downward spiral maybe after Michigan. How did you feel like the team was able to not do that?
Yeah, I mean, we just take it one day at a time, and especially as leaders, we're holding the team accountable with every practice, everything that we're doing, because you could sense that, if we're going to go on a downward spiral, you'd be able to sense it in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practices, and we came out flying. We were ready to attack this. We were ready to attack this USC team after a close one with Michigan, and sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way with Michigan, but we were able to flush it, learn from it. There are plenty of things that we did, across the board that we should have done better that Saturday, but we were able to apply it tonight.
Max Daniel was able to draw a couple of key pass interference penalties. Is that a situation where you saw him open and then they just had to do whatever to stop him?
Oh yeah. I think he's so dynamic in the pass game that it's hard if you're matched up with him one-on-one. He does a good job of it's either his ball or it's PI or it's incompletion. And to have guys like that, throughout the whole receiver room to understand that part of the game, those penalties help a lot on offense. So sometimes that's what gets the chains moving sometimes, and that's just how football works. And in that situation, he did a great job of fighting back for the ball and drawing that flag.
PJ mentioned comments from Joel Klatt today. Did he use those with you guys? Did he mention those to you?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. No.
Max, PJ talked about making defenses defend every inch of the field. How much has the screen game added to what you guys do offensively over the course of games?
Yeah, it's a good way to mix it up and change the flow of the game. Get the ball horizontal and lateral and let the big guys go to work and let the running backs go to work as well as the receivers when we get outside and throw quick screens as well. Coach Harbaugh did a great job of kind of implementing that within the past few weeks and saw that we needed to spread the ball in a different way. And the way he's installed that with the offensive staff and the players has been incredible. He continues to build upon our offense in positive ways. And I love being a part of it. I know my team does. I know my offense loves being a part of it. And we're only going to grow farther from here.
Any more for offense? Or?
Go ahead, Andy.
What did you guys feel like were the big moments in the celebration afterwards? What are the things you're gonna remember post-game?
I mean, obviously the fans are fun and they're coming up and saying good game, but I'm gonna remember, once Max took that knee, going up and giving him a hug and hugging the guys on the O-line, hugging Darius. We went to work tonight and, we were blessed to have a win, and I'll always remember those moments on the field and obviously after the game with the guys.
Max, I just felt like that last scoring drive, there just was a confidence that your offense had. There was, really decisive runs, some great passes. It just felt like there was an energy that you guys knew you were going to go down there and do it.
Yeah, I think that was our message going into the drive as well, was we were going to try to get all of it at one time. I think if you try to focus on the end goal, you're not going to, get through the little process of the actual drive. And that was something we hit on before the drive started, and we just executed. I mean, I think that's the thing, like we talked about shooting ourselves in the foot, stupid penalties and stuff, and we did a great job where we were just executing every single play. The guys did their job individually and collectively as a unit, and because of that, we were successful. And that's the end of the story. Like I think, continuing throughout the season, we see what happens when we execute the small things, and we can use this game to build upon that. We saw hints and flashes of it throughout the beginning of the season, end of the Michigan game, and now we put it together for 60 minutes and we finished as a team. And we're gonna use that in a positive way and correct the fixables. But build upon what we did today.
How pivotal
This is the last one. Go ahead, Andy.
How pivotal did you guys feel like John Joyner's pressure was and Devin Williams' interception?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of get that and maybe turn things around for you guys.
Yeah, I would say had to have a really they have a high firepower offense, and to be able to put pressure on the quarterback is extremely important. And those guys wore it out in their chest, and they were ready to attack. And I think those guys did a great job throughout this week. Continuing to stay motivated. Building upon each day throughout this week, and putting it together on Saturday. And that's always really hard to build upon Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and actually apply it on Saturday. And those guys stuck with it, and you could see the pressure in the pocket was awesome. I think the guys did a great job supporting the defense, but to be able to see Ja and Anthony and those guys make plays, Danny Strigow to make plays like that, those are huge energy builders for our team.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
John Coy up here. Is it okay if I just put one on the ground? Coach Coy and Ja, take a seat. We'll go ahead and jump into questions.
Corey, can you walk us through the interception at the end of the game?
Yeah, we were in cover two, just two-man, and I knew he was throwing it to the 6'6" guy. I mean, that guy's huge, so. But just go up and make a play. The guy made it this time, so grateful for that.
I saw you tweet out a couple minutes ago, "Who's LeBron?" What does that mean?
Oh, I love LeBron, but it's a joke between me and my cousin. It's just a running joke. I just thought it was always funny. I mean, LeBron is the GOAT, but who's LeBron?
Joe, we saw in that 3rd and 4, you were a little irate before you were able to rush the passer. Maybe you thought there was a false start, that you were able to disrupt the quarterback. That gets the turnover. Can you walk us through that kind of 30 seconds, 15 before, and then you actually are able to disrupt the play?
Yeah, I thought he moved, but no call. I can't control that, but I thought it was a good move by me. I knew I can beat him off the edge all day, so able to get my hand up, affect the pass, and yeah.
Or can you walk through the forced fumble you had as well?
I don't really remember much about that play. I thought I missed the tackle. I just hit him hard, and I guess I forced it. I mean, I wouldn't say it's lucky, but I was there. But that was a fun play.
Corey, what was it like to experience your first field storming camper game?
Oh, that was awesome. There was a part where I was in the middle, and I don't know who lifted me up, but I could just see everybody on the field at the same time. That was one of the coolest moments of my life.
John, that play where you deflected the ball, I was watching the whole play, and it just looked like you were really focused and bent on getting to the quarterback, and you did a great job. It was sort of a power speed rush. What did you see as you were coming in?
Yeah, that the play is designed for that, I should say. So, just I had a good get off and able to do a good move on the offensive tackle and affect the pass.
Joe, what do you think about the D-line, interior wise? You know, Jalen wasn't able to play, Devin leaves to kind of see other guys.
Those guys behind him definitely stepped up today. I know Dev went down. Jalen was banged up today. But in our D-line room was always about guys stepping up, making the available play, like we talked about all week. And just making, having production when you are in the game, and having trust from the coach. And then Coach Debo was able to trust some guys to go make those plays today. And so, yeah.
John, what did you think of the way the defense responded to all the things that USC likes to do to alter eye discipline and the screens and all those different things?
Yeah, it's been a battle all season from different offenses that we had to defend. But that's a very good offense over there, and to be able to have them to 17 points is really good. And our defensive coordinator is one of the best in the country, so definitely caught a very good game for us. So yeah.
Joe, were you surprised they went away from the run? Or it's that 3rd and 4 where you get the strip sack, they've been running the ball well, they don't run the ball, and then that next drive you get the intentional grounding called because they decided to throw. Are you surprised they went away from the run in the final?
No, I wasn't surprised. That's an offense that throws the ball a lot, so I wasn't surprised.
Boy, Coach Fleck mentioned, like, when he was recruiting you about how you were going to develop on the field. Just how were those conversations? Is this what you envisioned when you chose to come to Minnesota?
Can you repeat the question?
Coach Fleck, he mentioned that you were going to develop on the field, like as a player, like getting some time in your freshman season. Is this kind of what you envisioned when you came to Minnesota?
Yeah, I thought that was a huge part of my recruitment. I wanted to play early, and obviously he's done a great job in developing me. I mean, I've only been here since June, so it's just I trust in him and what he's done, and just what I do on the field is just keep producing, and just all the opportunities I can get, just take full advantage of every opportunity.
What's going through your mind when you guys are on the sideline watching that 4th down conversion to end the game?
Yeah, I was just looking at Coach Fleck. But
I was hyped.
All you gotta do is believe, for real.
I was hyped.
We seen that he crossed the plane, so if they would have reversed that, I would have been livid.
We have any more?
John, did you have a special moment or most memorable moment in the celebration afterwards?
Just looking at the sideline and seeing everybody just excited after that play, and just looking at Coach Debo, because we worked so hard just up to this point and this offseason just for moments like that. And I told the D-line that even last week, those 3rd and longs, passing moments against Michigan, I feel like I let the team down, just not getting the quarterback down. So just making that moment right there, and making a turning point right there. So.
You ever heard of a brandishing the weapon penalty before?
No, that was terrible. That was terrible.
We can't control what the refs say.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Corey, you kind of got the WWE treatment there on that punt return. Have you ever had a tackle like that happen?
Oh boy. Oh boy. That was an arm tackle too. I couldn't even run through that. That never happened to me. I was in the air. I was looking down. It was like the same thing as my pick. I'm going to the ground right now.
All right, thank you, everyone.